student. Um, in the fifth chapter of class 12 history, we are seeing history through the eyes of traveler. So, in today's class, we'll see history. We see India and India's economy, Mughal Indian history through the eyes of François Bernier. François Bernier, a traveler who has come in 17th century, and he wrote about the Mughal Empire. He came in the port of Dara Shikoh, and unlike other travelers, he was very different. His account depicted a very different story, and it was not like Ibn Battuta or other travelers. Why it was so? First thing, he came from some pre-assumptions. Pre-assumptions means he always compared West and East. West means the European countries, East means Indian subcontinent. And while comparing these two countries, these two parts of the globe, he always showed the western part of the globe or western countries as superior, and have a very systematic way of land ownership, of society, of classes. And on the other hand, he showed India as a very different, or you can say with so much complexity in its land ownership, in its society, in its social system. Because of this, but interestingly, his thoughts is well circulated among Western philosophers, intellectuals, political leaders, policy makers, and his accounts become a framework or base for the policy makers of Western countries. Because that time we know that in 17th century we were having printing press, and printing press, once it has come into its being, it has circulated the ideas from one part of the world to the other, especially in the Western countries, in a very rapid manner, in a very rapid pace. Because of this, what happened, his philosophies, his account, his ideology has spread in a very rapid speed. So what philosophies, what ideas, what thoughts he has given to the world? The first thing, when it comes to land ownership, he said that it was very problematic, and the whole problem in the economy, in the system, or impoverished conditions of the people was because of the land ownership. What was the land ownership? He said it was a crown owner land system was there. What is crown owner? Crown means the king. The king was the owner of the whole land in the state, and since it belongs to the king, because of this many problems were faced by the different sections of the society. And what was the problem? First problem, the nobles. He compared the zamindars of Mughal Empire to the nobles of the France or the European society, where the nobles were having the ownership of the property, the land, and because of this, and not only this, because they were owner, they can pass on the land to their children, and because they know it belongs to them, they are the owner, private owner of the land. Because of this, they always think of production, the increase in the production, development of the farmers and peasants who were working under them, and the land which was owned, they wanted it to make more profitable, more productive. On the other hand, if we come to India, we saw that he said it was not acceptable by different historians. He said that because Crown was the owner of the land in India, because of that the zamindars, the landowners or the nobles, according to him, were not interested in the development of the soil or the land they used to own. The farmers or the peasants who were working on the fields, they never ever took care of the land, that people who were working on their fields. Because of that, everything become very very complex. The land degradation become a problem. The land who could be more fertile, that was not that fertile. The farmers who were attached with the farming, that their condition was not that good, and that's why he said that there was no middle class in the society. Means he said there were a handful of people who were zamindars, the landowners. They were rich, and they used to subjugate the other people in the society. They were not that good. Their condition was not that good. They were not economically very sound. So there was no middle class according to Bernier's account. Then he said the Mughal king was the king of beggars and barbarians, because he explained the Mughal empire in a very different way. The beggars, the poor people, and barbarians, because people, he wanted to explain the economical and the theological or theories or the people's the condition of the society in the Mughal empire, but it is not favored, or it was not supported by other historians of that time, and it is quite confusing by explaining Mughal empire or Mughal king as the king of beggars and barbarians. Now, then he said that cities were ruined and contaminated with ill air, and fields were overspread with bushes and full of potential marshes. Why it is so? Because king, the nobles were not taking care of the people, even not the land. Because of this, there was always a handful of people were rich and others were not that rich, and because of this, ill air was there. There was no harmony in the society, and overspread bushes, the land which could be so fertile, because we know that Delhi areas, the that Gangetic plain, that was the most fertile land of the Indian peninsula, but that has only produced bushes, means fertility of the land was not properly used. Because of that, it was not that fertile, not productive, and that has not actually contributed in the economy's development. And marshes means all the lands were not used, people were not happy, they were not as productive, and because of that, it was filled of ill air. Then he said that all these problems, and because of this, people were facing different kind of problems. But if we see all these thoughts and then compare it with Abul Fazl's what you can say explanation, then we will see that it is not so. Because when he explained, he said that it was not crown ownership. It was not crown ownership. Why? Because he said the king was the owner of land. That is correct. But the land was owned, and on behalf of the ownership, or on behalf of the taxes which was paid by the farmers, was actually a remuneration of sovereignty. Sovereignty means they used to, the king used to safeguard the people from any barbarian attack or outside attacks of the outsider people, and he used to take care on behalf of the tax he used to collect. He used to safeguard them, ensure development of the state. We have seen that during the Akbar's era, he has managed canals, irrigation was taken care of. Not only this, the jizya was then in change in jizya's policies, means king was the owner of the land, but he used to, on behalf of the ownership, he has performed plenty full of duties, which was for each and every section of the people, and every section of the people was satisfied with the land system we had in our country. Not only this, we have seen some people, some nobles who were very good at their work, they also got very important role or important duty, and at times they were given the what you can say, the ownership of a particular piece of land. So Abul Fazl's explanation that this is the remuneration of sovereignty is quite correct, and it is very contradictory to the Bernier's explanation. Not only now, what was the impact of his account on the European philosophers? If we see the philosopher Montesquieu, we see that he has written the Asiatic despotism, means he, on basis of the crown ownership, he explained that because of crown ownership, how economy and other things were was degrading. Means Oriental means actually Oriental word represent the eastern part of the world, means the Asiatic country, and he said despotism because the king was the owner and he used to do whatever he wants. He never used to think about the people, the nobles, and the other sections, other layers of the society. And he explained as it was given a base ideology from Bernier, but The base of Montesquieu's explanation was given by Bernier, and he explained the Asiatic despotism. Not only this, Karl Marx, further explained, he took Bernier's account as a base, and he explained Asiatic mode of production. In that, he explained what was the condition before the colonialism and what was the condition after the colonialism, and he explained how the surplus, what is surplus means, that more than the need that was there in the society, how it was distributed among different communities, and because of the distribution of the surplus, how communities had worked together, and then what was the change in the communities and the distribution of surplus after the colonialism. Then because of all these things, we see that Bernier's account is quite different from the other travelers, and it is very, what you can say, the compare of east and west, it has in that we see the east has been seen inferior to the west, and it is very very confusing, very contradicting, and it is very critically criticized by the Western philosopher. In next video, I'll tell you about the society and other aspects of the Mughal Empire. Thank you.